Hello and welcome to CloudFolks HUB. At CloudFolks HUB, we are on mission to make cloud learning easier for each and everyone, no matters from which field you are coming from. If you are coming from non-IT field or even from networking or system administration, you can understand cloud properly. As a part of this mission, we have just started DynamoDB series. In this series, we are actually explaining you each and every options that we are getting while creating DynamoDB table. Today, in this video, we are going to talk about secondary indexes. Now, what is the biggest problem with the people who is actually learning cloud but not coming from the database field? They cannot understand this concept directly because they don't have clear idea about indexing. So, you have to understand what is indexing. You have to understand primary indexing, then secondary indexing. If you have this knowledge and then if you are going to create secondary indexes for your DynamoDB table, you can understand the whole concept. So, before I am going to explain you about LSI, create local index or create global index in DynamoDB table, I want you to understand indexing, I want you to understand primary indexing, secondary indexing and all, then we will go for this particular option. So in this video, I am going to explain you basics of indexing. Let's start.
Hello and welcome. I hope you are enjoying our AWS series. We have big plan to add Azure series, even videos for each and every DevOps technologies. But for this, we want some support from you guys. You can support us by only doing two things. First, subscribe to this channel. And yes, only subscribe to this channel if you are thinking that this videos is actually giving you some values. It will help you to pass any AWS exam like AWS Cloud Practitioner, Solution Architect Associate or even Solution Architect Professional. Second thing is share these videos with other IT professionals. Learning process is actually not expensive. If you are getting better or proper instructor or a mentor, it will really help you to develop your skill. If you are thinking that we are providing you a proper right path to improve your skill, your friends also deserve this, right? And for this, you have to share this channel videos with them. So, I am just requesting you to do these two tasks for me. One, subscribe to our channel and share with other IT professionals. Thank you. Now you can continue your video.
As always, we are going to start with mind map, and here I have definition of indexing. Indexing in a database is like shortcut that helps you find data quickly. If you want to improve read query performance of your database, it is always a good idea to use indexing. Instead of searching the entire table, the index lets the database jump directly to the needed data. It works like an index in book where you quickly find the page number for a topic. Let's say that if I have AWS Solution Architect book and I want to learn RDS, I have specific chapter for RDS. How you can find out? You will go to the index page of your book, you can find out the specific page number for RDS and you will directly jump to this number. Now indexing helping you to jump directly on this specific number. Same way, indexing in database also helping us to jump on a specific record directly. Now, if we are talking about indexing, we have two indexing types, one primary and another one is secondary. Now, let's understand primary first. The index automatically created on primary key column. The primary key always unique, ensuring that each row can identify individually. And here it is example, and it is automatically created, right? So let's say that if I am creating same kind of table, how I can do this? I will go to table. Here I will write customer table, and here I'm going to say that customer ID. Now whenever you are going to define partition key, it is going to index on this partition key automatically, right? Even if you are using single partition key, it will use as a primary key. You can also use composite, means combination of primary and short key. We are considering it as a primary key, so indexing will be on the primary key automatically. Now keep this in mind, primary key indexing is automatic, and it will allow you to search records from your DynamoDB table using this key. So if you are going to search any record using customer ID, you will have better performance. You can search records very easily because it is already indexed, right? The second option we have, we call it secondary index. Now, along with primary index, they are giving us additional facility to index another column. In additional index created on column other than the primary key. So let's say that here I am indexing on a customer ID, which is my primary key, but I want to give permission to my user, or I want to give facility to my user to search record based on order ID. So used for efficiently searching data based on non-primary key field. Customer ID is a primary key field, so primary indexing is already there, but order ID is not a part of this particular primary key. So I want to make efficient searching for order ID. In this case, I can create secondary key on order ID. Here it is example. See here I have customer ID, which is my primary key indexing, and order ID is a secondary indexing. Now this primary key indexing is automatically defined. You don't need to set up anything. You just need to define your partition key and it is going to work with that. But now you want to search based on order ID. It is your own decision. It is according to your database requirement. Then you have to add secondary indexing, right? So primary key is customer ID, secondary is order ID. Now you can search records using order ID, and this query will be efficient as well because it is indexed, right? Now it is always good idea to go with the secondary index, but if you are not going for this, there are many disadvantages. So secondary indexing is always going to give some advantages. Now let's talk about these advantages. It will provide you faster query. So now if you want to search any record based on order ID, you can find it efficiently. Flexible, they are giving us flexibility to search record based on customer ID or order ID. Improve efficiency because of the facility that you have. You can find out record from any of this. Complex use case, if you want to search record for multiple items, let's say that I want to find out all the order ID created by this specific customer, you can find out that using this complex queries as well. And now the last two one that I'm not going to explain you right now, because these two are related to DynamoDB. These are like a general, but these are related to DynamoDB. So to understand this, you have to understand how secondary indexing is actually working in DynamoDB, because DynamoDB is also providing us two options to create secondary index. One, LIS, local index, and another one is global index. Now what is this local index? What is this global index? How it is working? What are the differences between this, and how these 2 points are actually relating to these two? We are going to understand all of this, but for this you have to wait for one day. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. I hope your concept about indexing, primary indexing and secondary indexing are now crystal clear. Now in next video you can easily understand these two. Thank you. Goodbye.